Hey, this is Mike, and this video is about the file manager in Contao. You can find that down here on the left. Just ignore this stuff that's already here for now. The file manager is sort of like your website's hard drive. If you have pictures on your website or logos, or you're going to have people download PDF files, that stuff needs to be up on your file manager. If it's just on your own computer hard drive, that's not going to get onto the website. You need to get it up onto the internet, onto a server, and this is how you do it. This is where it's all stored in the file manager. You can sort of organize the file manager however you like, in whatever way makes sense to you. You keep all the pictures together, keep PDFs together, keep resources for CSS like background images that repeat, that kind of thing. Keep those however makes sense to you, just like you would on your computer's hard drive. So let's just jump in here and I'll give you a sense of how to go about working with files in the file manager. Let's just make a new folder, and this is just going to be for all the files that we're going to work with on the website. The first thing you have to choose is where that folder is going to go. So that's these arrows over here. If you want to go within this folder, for example, you'd click here. If you just want it to go on the root level, you just paste it right here. So let's just call this website, save and close. So let's say your website's going to have a ton of pictures, like of cats and dogs, for example. You might want to keep those all in a folder that's just called pictures. So let's try that. I'm going to make a new folder. And again, you have to decide where it's going to go. I want it to be within that kind of main folder that I just made. So I'm going to click here. And I'm going to call it pictures. Save and close. So there's the folder that we just made called pictures. And I'm going to take some of these choice cat pics and dog pics and just get them up in there. You can do that a couple ways. You could hit file upload here, and then just like you do with folders, you would click here to paste into that pictures folder. Or you could just find the folder that you want to get the pictures in and hit this green button here, and that'll automatically put it in the pictures folder. When you do that, you have this little thing here. I'm just going to drag and drop these. You can also click and pick the images or whatever files you're working with through your regular computer's file manager. So there we have it. It uploaded the pictures into that folder. We'll go back. So here we have all those pictures within the pictures folder. And you might want to organize these a different way, like keep all the cat pictures in one folder and all the dog pictures in another. So one way to do that would be to just add a new folder, put it within pictures, and let's call it cats, save and close. And now I'll make a folder for dogs as well. And I don't want it to go within cats. I want it to go within pictures, so it's on the same level as cats. So I'll do that. And you can move files around in a few different ways. One is if you just have one image you want to move, for example, hit this blue arrow. And just like you have with moving folders around, you have these arrows. And I would put that within the cats folder. So I'll do that. Hit this little plus thing to expand it so you can see where it went. I'll do that again for the other cat, and I'll put that within cats. So that's one way to do it, one by one. If you have a bunch of files you're moving around and you want to just get a bunch done at once, you can do it this way. You hit edit multiple, and so I'll select all the dog pictures, have them selected, and then I'll select move down here, and move them into the dog folder like this. There, the dogs are in the dogs folder now. Another thing that could be useful is this green plus arrow, which basically just duplicates the folder or file that you're working with. So if I want to make another copy of this cats folder, for example, I'd hit this button here, and just like with everything else, you just decide where you want it to go. So maybe you want it on the same level as pictures, so we'll just put that there, and there we have another copy of the cats. And if you want to delete that, you just hit this X, and it'll just delete it. That's sort of the most basic stuff. A few things to keep in mind is that if you're working with a lot of files and a lot of folders, and it's just getting to be too much information on the page, you can toggle all of them open or closed like this by hitting this button up here, and that will kind of quickly keep things organized. And also, if you're working, let's say you're just working with a pictures folder here, you can click on that, and that will just focus in on that folder. And if you need to go back, you can use this breadcrumb nav up here to go back as far as you want. Another thing to keep in mind is that you always want your file names to be to not have any gaps in them. So either before you upload them into the file manager, or if you want to rename a file, like I'll try renaming this one, you wouldn't want to have a name with a gap in it, like Cat Buddy. Always make sure that there's something like a dash or whatever, just so it's a continuous thing. Otherwise, the computer will basically add a bunch of junk in that gap, and it'll get kind of messy. That's it for the file manager basics for today. As is, none of this stuff is going to just show up on the front end of your website. It needs to be kind of drawn on in articles and other parts of Contao. But for now, you have a bunch of resources that you can draw on, and we'll get into how to do that other stuff in other videos.